As one year is about to end and another begin, our instinct always seems to be to review, reevaluate, set new goals, formulate plans, yes, make resolutions. All of this to try to gain better control over our own lives, trying to improve our health, our wealth, our general well-being on that rather elusive path called the pursuit of happiness. And whether conscious of it or not, maybe, just maybe, we come to church as one year transitions to another to obtain a divine blessing of sorts that might ensure our succeeding at everything we plan and want to accomplish in the coming year. Because if we can get God to agree, then we're likely to succeed at what we're planning, likely to obtain what we want to gain or maybe lose, whatever the case may be in the year ahead. But in her wisdom, the Church places before us on this transition day of one year to the next, the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mary, as a young woman in Nazareth, must have been like many other young people there and everywhere, then and now. Young people in their mid-teens, always filled with hopes and dreams and plans for their lives. Plans formulated and probably frequently changed, not just on the cusp of a new year, but that of a new age or a stage of life with a whole future lifetime of possibilities. When we are first introduced to Mary in the Scriptures, we are told that she is a virgin. And while we might assume that this is simply because she is young and not yet married, we might also, though, consider the possibility that Mary might have already committed herself to virginity as a state of life for religious reasons, dedicating herself completely to God, and that she is betrothed to this man Joseph, who, according to long-standing tradition, was older, and to other traditions, widowed, and already a man with children, who will be her provider and protector in what is by their choice a chaste marriage, one in which in exchange for respecting and protecting her commitment to virginity, she will raise his children and keep his house. Maybe further historical research will lend further credence to this hypothesis that has emerged since the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. And we will see that this was indeed a practice among certain groups of Jews in first century Palestine. But whatever the case, the faithful, humble, grace-filled Mary was betrothed and planning her future with Joseph, soon to be her spouse. But all of her personal plans were disrupted in a single moment when that angelic messenger proposes to Mary what part she might play in God's plan. And then, with an amazing, simple, and wholehearted yes, Mary reformulates all her own personal plans and dreams to comply with God's will, even though that would mean bearing a child under what would appear to many as rather suspicious circumstances, and thus risk compromising her own reputation and her betrothal to Joseph. The lines of Scripture don't give us many details of how Mary coped and what she might have suffered for her yes. And although we know that all turned out well with Joseph, we still might wonder what the villagers of the small hamlet of Nazareth thought of it all. Indeed, we see Mary yielding complete control of her future to God, even down to the detail of naming her son. She doesn't take that privilege. It's made clear in our gospel passage today. And so ironically, as we approach the first day of a new year, when by instinct as well as by tradition, we try to take greater control of our lives and our future, we are challenged by Mary's great example to be ready to yield all of these back to God completely. So on the threshold of 2017, let us try to pray and say wholeheartedly with Mary, "Be it done unto me according to your word," and make this our only resolution, that we will have greater docility to God's will for us in the year ahead, as we let God in his providence take us where, in accord with his wisdom and his plan, we really need to go.